So we start off chapter 14, we see Boruto looking like he just woke up, and he's in an interrogation room with Ibiki and Konohamaru. Konohamaru tells him, "You finally woken up," as Boruto realizes that he's cuffed. Konohamaru explains to him that his favorite teleportation jutsu will be suppressed by the sealing jutsu cuffs that were made by Amado. He tells him not to even think about breaking them, as they're electronic and basically impossible. Boruto asks if everyone's okay, but they've lost comrades. We then have a quick scene of Sakura healing Inojin. Sakura then tells everyone that there's no need to worry and that he's gonna be okay. Switching back to the interrogation room, Konohamaru tells Boruto that it's time they have a chat, and he has a lot of questions that need answering. He asks who these Shinju are and why on earth they want Sarada and Himawari. Ada, seeing this interrogation through her Senragan, tells Damon that Boruto's interrogation has begun. Damon then lets off a menacing smile and tells Kawaki, "What are you gonna do when your boy snitches?" But Kawaki dismisses this. But to add to that, he says Boruto needs to be killed. He says he's a ticking time bomb and at any moment Momoshiki can pop out like Polo G.
What? Bro, what are you talking about?
Yo, I can't lie, I'm waiting for Momoshiki to just pull up and just start hurting people, you know? Kawaki continues by saying before he kills Boruto though, he needs to get the information out of Boruto, as he needs to know how to go against the Shinju. Boruto continues by explaining to Konohamaru that the Shinju are self-conscious and that they've been involved by code into higher beings, and their main priority is to devour Onosutsuki so they can become a divine tree. He explains this is basically a subconscious thing and is known to them instinctively. Boruto continues by explaining that all the Shinjus have someone which they clone except the leader Jura, as that he's a special case because he is a direct incarnation of the Ten Tails itself. Boruto explains if they can somehow manage to take down Jura, that the village and planet will be safe. Konohamaru, baffled by his confidence, asks Boruto how on earth this could be and what makes him so confident. Boruto though doesn't seem to want to respond, and Konohamaru presses him again, telling Boruto to answer him as his life depends on his next words. Boruto explains that he has a source, but he has no intention of telling them it. He ain't no snitch, my boy. He explains that the person asked him not to. Obviously he's talking about Kashin Koji here. Konohamaru is shocked by his lack of cooperation, tells Boruto if he expects them to believe him as someone who killed the Hokage. Realizing he's starting to get stubborn, the elders tell Boruto that regardless of what he says, he's not coming out of that room alive. Shikamaru, watching on in this interrogation, begins to get in his head. He doesn't understand. He's remembering his conversation with Boruto and the conflicting information between what he witnessed and the omnipotence memories that are in his brain. Shikamaru, naturally, as he forgets his conversation with Boruto and starts to question himself. He doesn't know why, but he just knows that Boruto is good and that he trusts him. Shikamaru though continues to listen to the conversation between Konohamaru and Boruto. Boruto telling Shikamaru that he didn't kill Lord 7th and that Naruto is still alive, him and Hinata somewhere safe. Now getting frustrated that Boruto is not cooperating, Ibiki steps forward, telling him, "Good, that's the spirit," as he grabs his glove ready to beat some information out of him. Yo, I ain't seen this guy since when's the last time I seen bro? We then switch back to Shikamaru, having a conversation with Ino as he asks for her to use her mind transfer jutsu, but Ino is really unwilling. She doesn't want to do this and she keeps reminding Shikamaru that this is against the regulations and they are both violating it, even for speaking now. She asks Shikamaru if this is an order, and Shikamaru responds by telling her this is a top secret mission and he's not asking on official orders or capacity, but he's asking as a friend. Ino though is confused, not understanding why Shikamaru is so protective over Boruto, and she says she's sorry but she cannot continue doing this. Ibiki, now standing over Boruto, tells him if the Lord 7th is safe, tell me his location, and if he doesn't, he'll die in a disgraceful manner. Boruto though doesn't respond, doesn't even move a muscle, and now frustrated, Ibiki grabs the back of his head, smashing it against the table. He then lifts it up, as we start to see Boruto bleeding from his nose and a slight cut underneath his mouth. Ibiki then tells Boruto that he's been itching to hurt him ever since he found out that he killed Naruto. To which Boruto claps back, saying it must be nice having so much free time. Now getting very agitated, Ibiki continues by punching Boruto in the face before grabbing his head and hitting him again in his torso. Yo, bro's moving like Mike Tyson, this is crazy. It seems to be taking a toll on Boruto as we see him bleeding quite heavily from his nose. Ibiki praises him for his resilience, but says we'll see how long that lasts. But before we continue, Shikamaru interrupts him, telling him to stop, it's useless, as Boruto is clearly not willing to give any information, and any more damage will simply be a waste. He instead suggests using a different strategy, using venom by summoning Mitsuki. Konohamaru though isn't convinced, and he tells Shikamaru that he doesn't think this is a good idea. Mitsuki has too much bloodthirst towards Boruto, and he's afraid that he might just burst out and try to kill him. Shikamaru though still insists, telling him that it's fine, and if anything happens, he'll take the fall. Switching scenes, we go back to Ada and Kaoki, and Ada tells Kaoki that it doesn't look like Boruto is giving any information away and is keeping silent, to which Kaoki is surprised. Damon, with a look of confusion, doesn't understand why Boruto would protect him, and says he doesn't understand that guy. Switching back to Mitsuki, Shikamaru opens the door for the interrogation room, and we see him slip something into his hand, but we don't quite know what it is. He grabs him, telling him to remember we are shinobi and that this is a mission. He tells Mitsuki to control himself and perform his duty. Yo, this is actually looking cold. Mitsuki then enters the room. Before he can even get a chance to speak, Konohamaru quickly explains to him that Boruto is an important witness. He highlights the importance of not killing Boruto as they really need this information. But before they can continue, Boruto immediately starts with the flaunting, as he says, "Hey Mitsuki, are you still stupidly searching for your son?" Immediately triggered, as if flipping a switch, Mitsuki switches straight into Sage mode and charges towards Boruto, giving him what seems like a vicious blow to the face. Telling Boruto, "Is this all you have to say, you ungrateful traitor?" Ibiki grabs onto Mitsuki, calling him a fool and telling him to stand down, but it's too late. We see a panel, one of Mitsuki's snakes slip round to Boruto's cuffs and unlocks it, freeing Boruto's hands. Just before Mitsuki can get pulled back though, he whispers into Boruto's ear, "Your stuff's in the West Wing security office," and there are 2 guards waiting. What seemed like an initial accident has clearly been orchestrated, as Shikamaru has clearly ordered this. Just before Boruto teleports away, Boruto explains he doesn't see any of them as enemies, and that he'll give them intel as and when he wishes, leaving Konohamaru in complete and utter shock, doubting himself, not understanding how on earth Boruto has gotten free, as those cuffs made by Amado were supposed to be completely impossible. He wonders if Mitsuki unlocked them, but he quickly reassures himself that can't be the case, as only him and Shikamaru have the code. We switch back to an earlier scene as we see Mitsuki was indeed given the code by Shikamaru. Boruto quickly teleports to the West Wing, grabbing his katana and his cloak and immediately leaving. But before that, he tells the ninjas not to worry, and that's not their fault. Back with Mitsuki, he apologizes to Konohamaru. He completely lost his mind and blew their opportunity. The elders look in disgrace and tell Shikamaru there's going to be consequences for this action. Now resting in his Hokage office, there seems to be noise by the door, is interrupted by Sarada and Sumire as they ask where Boruto is and what happened in his interrogation. Shikamaru explains that he escaped, but before he can give any more detail, he's interrupted by a radio message as Lord Kankuro from the village of Sand seems to have arrived. Kankuro explains to Shikamaru that he needs his help and that he knows it's been a while, but Gaara's been taken down and Shinki has also been captured. He further explains that Shinki has become a tree and that fortunately they're both alive. He'll explain more, but he just needs his help immediately. We then switch to the last panel and we see the latest Shinju being a clone of Shinji, looking bloody cold. What a chapter, man. Every chapter has just been cold and cold and cold, man. I'm not gonna lie to nobody, man. If you guys like that video, smash the like button, man. And I appreciate everyone coming to the channel, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.